Hi guys, welcome to another lesson. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic and one of the most frequent questions that I get, which is how much time should I practice? Once I heard somebody that replied to this question saying it depends on how much you want to improve or how good you want to be. And at that point I thought, wow, this is a real, challenge between who plays and who practices the most. But then I realized, practicing myself, that wasn't really the question. That wasn't really the right answer, because I found out that we can only do certain things for a certain amount of time, especially if we're working with our brain and not only with our muscles. So we can train our body 10, 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day easily, especially if we're not lifting super heavy weights and we're not like going to work on our muscles in a very extreme way. But doing stuff isn't always the way of achieve goals. So the real thing that I understood and discovered on myself and then on my students is that we have to first of all train our concentration. So how much you should practice is based on how much your concentration is trained. And if there's something that you want to train, first of all, before your muscles, before your grooves, before whatever you're doing, is your concentration. Because without concentration, you're not going anywhere. Once I had this conversation with a student of mine, I was saying, I practice 10 hours a day, 9 hours a day, and nothing is improving. And I was thinking, if I would practice 10 hours a day, I would become a beast. Because I did practice 8 hours a day in the past, because I had to, because I had job to do and stuff to finish, so writing albums and being involved in different projects. So I had to work and play drums for 8 hours a day, not continuously, but during the day. But I never really practiced 8 hours for the sake of practicing. I practiced 2, 3, 5 hours a day. That was my maximum, because my brain couldn't do more than that, because my concentration, I trained my concentration to work at a maximum of 5 hours a day divided during the day. When we practice drums, we're not at the gym. What's the big difference between practicing drums and going to the gym? In both cases you need concentration, but what you're training at the gym are most of the times, 99% of the times, are big muscles. Okay, like the chest, abs, biceps, legs, and all that stuff. Instead, when we practice drums, we're practicing coordination, so we're working on articulations, smaller muscles, fingers, ankles, and all that stuff. The main difference is that to concentrate, to have the connection between your brain and big muscles, so that they have big connections to our brain, is that you need 30% of concentration and 70% of physical effort. Meaning that once you feel that your chest is working, you can listen to music, you can do all kind of stuff, you can talk in between rests and all that stuff, and then when you sit back, you go back and just put a little bit of concentration and you feel that muscle working, and that's it. When we are working on such small muscles far further away from our brain, so the distance is different, we really have to have a lot of concentration. So it's 70% of concentration and 30% of physical work. So if after 5 seconds that you sit down practicing, you're already thinking about something else, or you're just doing stuff, you're not practicing anymore. So how much time should you practice is based on that. It's based on how much time can you spend focusing on something.